So, been a while since I made a video, a long while. Thought I would just make this video in my car, because I've been fairly busy. Because basically I go to work, immediately get off, either go tutor or go to the gym, then go home for like an hour or two, and do some chores and basically just go to sleep. As far as how I'm doing, God, every fucking day in this country is getting worse and worse. And we recently had a quote-unquote Liberation Day, where apparently we've slapped on tariffs on every single nation. So America's now looking at least, a 10% tariff hike on every single imported good. That's just the minimum, too. We're tariffing 47% of goods coming in from Vietnam. We're importing, I think there was a 20% tariff on China. Now there's a 34% tariff. So if those tariffs are additive, that's a 54% increase in the price of your goods from China. Let's see, we have, citizens being not deported, because you can't call it deportation. You might as well call it fucking kidnapping for what it is, and being sent to foreign countries where they are not originally from, or they're being sent to gulags, effectively. So I'm constantly worried about that, especially considering the fact that they can just do that to citizens. So, and I'm talking about citizens who have green cards. I'm talking about people who more natural born. But what's to say it's not going to stop them from going after natural born citizens? What's to say they're not going to up the ante? They're just dipping their feet in the water to test things out. So for all the people who are kind of just sitting back and thinking, oh, this is a normal fucking Monday, no, it's not. What else? Apparently our national security is at risk, thanks to a whole Signalgate scandal going on. Apparently, some of our top government officials were communicating sensitive war plans through Signal. And that's already in violation of another law where you're supposed to have records for basically for these operations, for these types of operations. You're supposed to have records for the public to see. And sorry, I'm forgetting what the act was called specifically, but I know that there is a law that requires them to have records of these, operations, these chats. So not only were they risking national security, they were also violating the law. Let's see, what else? God, there is so much more. In addition to the tariffs, in addition to the kidnappings, in addition to the national security risk, you also have funding for basically our entire safety net being cut. And it's the only other way I can describe that. Social Security, Medicare, just gone, or being cut drastically to the point where people are going to get fed up and think that the system's not working, and that gives these fucking chuds a chance to privatize everything. And sorry if I'm not using the appropriate words here. I'm fucking flustered. I've been angry lately. I've been stressed out of my fucking mind. To add salt on top of the shit cake as well, when I tried to tell my mother about this stuff, she doesn't want to fucking hear it. She says, just don't talk politics to me. So I just realized that I am alone in talking about these very serious issues. These aren't fucking politics anymore. These are human rights issues. How the fuck is this politics, you stupid motherfucker? God. Just when I think that my opinion of my mother couldn't get lower, the bar just keeps dropping. But thankfully, I'm trying to find a way to get the fuck out, because I cannot see myself being around this woman anymore. There's something wrong with her. There really is something wrong with her. Sorry, bug on my hand. fine. You spend your days sitting around doing nothing on your free time. Fine. Your free time's your free time. But then you ignore issues that are pressing to your kids. I barely see her interacting with either myself. Actually, she doesn't. I mean, she doesn't really include me in a lot of things, which, okay, I guess. Doesn't even bother asking me. But, she's spending more time with my brother, which, is fine. I don't care. But it's the fact that she is putting more attention and more time towards my brother that makes me feel like you've just kind of moved on to a different son. That I'm not fucking important to you anymore. That my opinions aren't fucking important anymore. And that pisses me off. So, I'm honestly just trying to come up with a game plan to either leave the country, which I'm still waiting on a passport, but in order to do that, apparently a copy of a birth certificate is not enough, because of fucking course it's not enough. I need to actually provide the actual copy, an official sealed or a copy with the seal on it to these people. Fine, I'll have to go back and do that shit. And mail it off within 90 days, or I am down $240. Also, never mind the fact that the price of things are about to skyrocket, and I'm making little less than half of what I was making beforehand. But I'm still at least thankful that I have a job right now. But I also worry about the effects of these tariffs and how it's going to affect my job too. Because there's no safety net now. They're cutting that. I don't know how successful it's going to be, because I know there are lawsuits in place to try and stop this shit, because all of it is pretty much illegal. These firings of federal employees, these cuts, these programs are illegal. But of course, our politicians have no spine. They're not going to do shit about it. It's kind of crazy to me to think that, I read in the history books that George Washington opposed political parties. I see why now. I've seen it for a while now, but holy shit. We went from a democratic republic, to now we're going towards authoritarianism and fascism. And there's a political party that is complicit in all of this. The Republican Party. I don't care what your political affiliations are. You can sit there and say you're a Republican, but your party is fucking fascist. They are supporting this shit. They are just sitting by and letting all this stuff happen. And a chunk of them are defending it. The Democrats aren't doing shit, because a lot of them just don't know what the fuck to do. They just have their tail tucked between their legs. But, my only semblance of hope recently was, the Wisconsin election. Thankfully, the people there woke the fuck up and decided to elect a liberal judge, someone who wasn't going to bend over backwards for Trump. But, I'm not going to be surprised if they do. I'm not surprised anymore. And Florida, of course, they're fucking crazy, fucking lunatics. They just voted for the people who are going to hurt them the most. And with hurricane season coming along soon, good luck. Seriously, good luck. God. We're living in the world of idiocracy. I watched that movie I think 15 years ago. And when I first saw it, I wasn't laughing. I was actually horrified, because I realized that this shit is plausible and that it was actually happening. I just didn't think it would get to the conclusion. I'm trying to find the words. I didn't think it would develop to the point where it is actually now verbatim the movie, basically. Fuck, I would have chosen Terry Crews as fucking president at least. Sorry. My light is going off. There we go. Turn the car back on. But, yeah. How am I doing? I'm doing fucking awful. Because honestly, if things continue the way that they are, and, if I, lose my job again, I'm probably going to just buy that gun. Because we're literally completing the 100-year cycle. Why would I live to see it? Because honestly, I'm debating about it now. Even though I do have a job, I am debating about ending things. Because why would I stick around to watch this 100-year cycle, watch us repeat our mistakes, and especially the horrendous ones? I mean, we're literally, America is becoming 1930s Germany. And if you don't know what that is, pick up a history book and read it. Granted, I could go back and read through it myself as well. I could use a refresher, but this is the type of shit that started in Germany before the Nazis took over. Anyway, I don't know what else to really say to how am I doing. I know that wasn't coming from a place of ill will, but Jesus fucking Christ. I'm in literal hell. This is hell. I think when we die, that's heaven. Nothing. Just peace. This is hell. This has become worse. So, anyway, I'll talk to you when I talk to you guys.